Let's talk about the Chiefs running back situation and where we need to go from here. But first, how about those? If you're a diehard Chiefs fan, just like me, subscribe to this channel, turn notifications on so that you can stay in the know with daily news about our favorite team. Okay, running back situation in KC. Let's talk about this. In 2020, Clyde Edwards-helaire, whom I will now refer to purely as CEH, was a first-round draft pick by the Chiefs in 2020. Damian Williams, who opted out of the 2020 season, was cut by the Chiefs that same year. Veach signed Derek Gore in February of 2021 to a reserve future contract, then signed Jerick McKinnon to a one-year deal as well. It's like a prove-it deal. McKinnon missed nearly all of the 2018 season with an ACL injury, then missed all of the 2019 season with an LCL issue in his knee as well. So he was definitely injury-prone, but productive when healthy. Since we are talking about injuries, let's talk about our running backs' injuries during the 2021 season. CEH was injured a lot of 2021. He had an ankle sprain in preseason where he missed a bit of time, an MCL sprain in October in which he missed 5 games, and a bruised shoulder in December, causing him to miss the game against the Steelers. McKinnon spent the entire month of December on IR with a hamstring injury, but had a solid comeback in the playoffs due to CEH being injured and Darrell Williams struggling with that toe injury late in the season. And that's why we saw McKinnon step up in a big way, with Williams and CEH both struggling with those injuries. Hey, if you're enjoying this content, do me a favor real quick, hit that like button to help push this video out for more Chiefs fans like me and you. All right, so we're about to go through a lot of numbers here, so please bear with me. Let's talk regular season production from all of these running backs. Darrell Williams saw the most action, with CEH being injured around 40% of the season. He had 144 attempts for 588 yards and 6 TDs. CEH had 119 attempts for 517 yards and 4 TDs. Gore had 51 attempts for 256 yards and 2 TDs. McKinnon had 12 attempts for 62 yards and no TDs. And we can't forget about through the air stats receiving. Williams had 47 receptions for 452 yards and 2 TDs. CEH had 19 receptions for 107 yards and 2 TDs. McKinnon had 13 receptions for 107 yards and a TD. Gore had 8 receptions for 105 yards and no TDs. Williams for sure crushed it through the air. He had a 1,000+ yard season this year if you combine rushing and passing. That was just for the regular season. We saw McKinnon get more action in the postseason, which is why his numbers were looking low. So let's go postseason stats. McKinnon had 34 rushing attempts for 150 yards and a TD, and 165 receiving yards for a TD. CEH had 13 rushing attempts for 96 yards and 2 receptions for 13 yards. Williams only had a rush for 4 yards, no receptions, but remember he was battling that toe injury, and plus McKinnon was balling, so they kept playing him. Gore had 2 rushes for 3 yards and no catches, but he didn't really play during the postseason. So, okay, that was a lot of numbers. With all that being said, this leads us to the 2022 season. Where do we go from here? Well, CEH is the only one still under contract, and I will tell you this, the Chiefs are not giving up on their first round pick. They're going to live with that choice whether we fully agree with it or not. I do think CEH is still developing, and when used properly, he can be an effective running back, though I do question his decision-making sometimes when he's on the run. But I have to assume he's only going to get better. I just pray, honestly, that he stays healthy. So that leaves us with McKinnon, Williams, and Gore. They are all listed as free agents. Derek Gore is the only restricted free agent, which means he can sign an offer sheet with any team, but the Chiefs can retain him by matching the terms of that offer. McKinnon and Williams are both unrestricted free agents, which means they are free to sign with any franchise. My thoughts are this. I think Darrell Williams quite possibly played himself out of Kansas City. And what I mean by that is there may be a couple teams who saw his production this year and offer him more money than the Chiefs are willing to pay him. And I have a feeling he's more than likely picked up by another team. But if that doesn't happen, of course, I'd love him to come back. I mean, he was a solid running back 2 this year, very productive, and he was a beast through the air as well. Do you guys remember that amazing catch he made against the Raiders? I mean, he literally stole the ball out of safety Jonathan Abrams' hand. It was amazing. We will more than likely keep Derek Gore. I don't see him getting much of a big offer from another team, so I see him staying around as running back 3 or 4, maybe 2. I don't know. But McKinnon is the question. Could they bring him back on another 1-year deal knowing he's getting older? He will be 30 in May, and injuries may still occur. Comment below, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. Do you want McKinnon to stay? Do we fork out a bit of extra cash for him if necessary? I mean, based on his performance near the end of the season, into the playoffs, I think he earned it. Bring this man back, please. If any of y'all are listening, let's do it on a somewhat friendly deal, and let's make it happen. Let him be running back 2 with Gore as running back 3. Also, the Chiefs just brought back Darwin Thompson to their practice squad, and I believe he is still there. So maybe that's possibly running back 4. I don't know. Again, this is my thoughts if Williams is with another team. So I don't know. There you have it. Do you agree with my thoughts? Do you have other ideas? I'd love to read them in the comments, and I take the time to read all of them. So feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe for daily Chiefs news. I'll be covering news about the draft, free agency, coaching changes, and more. So until next time, let's go. How about those